Welcome to our review quick fun project on lines. What we're going to do is we're going to be making something sort of like this that we will probably later cut up and make into something totally different. But it's a fun way to review line and use some different materials. So you're going to start out with a paper that's a little bit smaller than the paper I have here. And we're going to start out by dividing that paper into smaller pieces using line. So you can use zigzag line, loop-de-loops, wiggly lines, straight lines, wavy lines, whatever kind of lines you want. So I think I'm going to make some loop-de-loop lines here. And then I'm going to draw some wiggly lines coming down here. And I need to divide that up a little bit further here. Okay. So there is my division. The next thing we're going to do, if we're going to use something pretty cool, we're going to use these bingo daubers that I bought. But it is very, 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 very important that you don't squeeze them. If you squeeze them, you will end up with a puddle all over your paper and have to start over, and that would be very sad. You want to really hold them very gently. Like the bottle is just really easy to end up squishing, and that's what you don't want to do. So they are like the coolest marker you'll ever use, though. That's basically what they are. They have India ink in here, which is like a permanent ink, so you don't want to get it all over your clothes. But it will work just like a marker and not be a mess as long as you don't squeeze it. And you don't even have to press it down. You just flip it over, set it on your paper, and run it along those lines. And it's like the coolest, smoothest marker ever. So, and now if I don't follow my lines exactly, it doesn't matter. This stuff dries super fast, so I can erase out any pencil lines that are still showing, or I can just leave them, since I told you we're probably just going to cut it up later anyway. So who really cares? There, I kind of changed that one because it's like a little heart there upside down. Okay, so there it is, and it's already drying quite quickly. I can see a little bit of wet in here, so when I go in onto my next step, I'm going to be careful not to put my hand right in that, but it'll be dry in like 1 minute. So the next step is to start drawing all of these patterns in here through different kinds of lines. We want to maybe fill some of these sections in that we draw, but we're going to use different kinds of lines again. What kind of lines can we use to begin to fill this in? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple wavy lines nice and close to each other. That way I can color that in. And I'll draw a couple more nice and close to each other. And I'll just kind of do that all the way through this little Pac-Man ghost shape here. And then I'm going to go back in and actually color these in here. Then I'll go into the next section and do different kinds of lines. I want to either have areas that I can color in like this, shapes I've created with lines, or I want to put my lines nice and close together because I want to fill in a good amount with this oil pastel. This should not be a fast step. This should take a few minutes to do. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and we'll come back when I'm closer to half done. I'm starting to get some more patterns on here, but you can see how I've filled in these lines, and these lines are just nice and close together. At this point, once you kind of get this far, remember we're taking our time and making all these lines, but at some point you might start to think to yourself, hey, can I put some little polka dots or some hearts or some Nike swooshes or some other kind of little thing in here? Yeah, you don't have to have only lines, but we definitely want to see different kinds of lines. Straight lines, wavy lines, zigzag lines, lightning bolts, loop-de-loops, any type of lines like that you can think of. We want to definitely see a good amount of lines and a good amount of your paper covered. Once you have the whole thing filled in with all the different shapes filled in with oil pastels, and then we will go over it with watercolor, and I will show you how to do that in class, but you want to make sure and you want to remember that watercolor is transparent, which means we should be able to see through it. We want to see all these patterns through it, and the way to do that is to make sure you use enough water. It's called watercolor because we need water to make it really flow. It is not supposed to be a thick paint. It's always supposed to be transparent, something that you can see through with watercolor. That's what watercolor looks like. So when we go back through and do the painting part, just make sure you use enough water, and of the different shapes so that your paint stays nice and transparent. I think that's it.